Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. In today's episode, we're going to be installing some brand new polyurethane rear spring mounts, as well as a Sulastic bushing. So what this does is it makes a smoother ride for the rear of a heavier 2500 to 3500 HD truck. And in my application specifically, I'm about 8,500 pounds with a full tank of fuel, this toolbox, and the spare tire that's in the bed. So hopefully this will make my ride just a little bit smoother, and it won't affect the tow haul capability of this truck at all. And it also features a polyurethane bushing right here. And then lastly, we're going to install a 2-inch rear leaf spring shackle, shackle, a lift block, 2-inch rear lift block to get rid of the 4-inch that I currently have on the truck. Now, I haven't had any problems with this 4-inch. I'm just looking to achieve that lower stance. So, let's get to work.
Perfect.
Hopefully you guys understand the process now. It's not fun, but if you don't have the right tools for the job, which surprisingly, those of you who know me, this is the one thing I think I don't have the right tool for. So, gotta make do with what you got. So I'm gonna beat it out, and we'll put polyurethane in here shortly. Alright everybody, welcome back to day 2. We've already got the spring out of the passenger side. This is what I mean by, with the sleeve, you actually have to crush the sleeve inward. Some people, they take a hole saw to get the bushing out, which I don't have any, so if I had time I would have tried that method, but I don't have any, so I just used the same method as I did yesterday. What a lot of people are doing to get these out, you can either use a hacksaw and try to hacksaw one side of it so you can crush it in and get it out easier, but a lot of people are taking sawzalls. I wish I had one of those. I don't have one yet, but pretty much they stick the metal blade straight down in here and sawzall one side till you can actually get underneath it like this and just kind of beat it through. So I'm going to attempt to just beat it through here. So we'll see how that works out for me, and I'll get back with you guys. It's going to be a super long process, so I'm not going to film it. The other two took me like 2 hours to beat out yesterday, so it is a very long process and a very tiring process. So I'm going to go ahead and just beat this one out, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay, so if you guys can see what I was talking about, how it's now kind of pushed down in there. I used this, I guess, this pry bar. We'll call it a pry bar. I don't know its specific name. So I used it and wedged it in there, as you saw kind of in the last little segment. Then I took my punch and my 32 ounce hammer and just kind of beat straight down, and it started to fall right out, as you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to beat it the rest of the way out. Just like that. Now, this sleeve will not be going back in. There is a larger side. The side that's towards the camera now is actually the larger side, and I crushed the smaller side in. So you're gonna want to do that if you don't have a press. And if you buy new OEM bearings, you actually have to press those new OEM bearings in. So I'm doing the energy suspension polyurethanes. So if there's any type of rust or anything down inside of here, I'm going to clean it out and make it look all nice and pretty. First things first, I have to get that other bushing out. Now, getting this here bushing out is fairly simple. I'm just going to take my broken tip screwdriver that I broke on the other side, and I'm just going to wedge it in between here and pry it out. But while you're here, you see what I'm saying, how this bearing has a bigger flange than this one here. So this is the side I'm actually going to beat out. So let me get this bushing out. I'm going to pry it out with the screwdriver, unless you guys see. Oop.
Perfect.
Going on?
Oh my god, never seen a truck so pulled apart.
Oh, this isn't even the worst it's ever been apart.
Oh my god. Well, I'm sure you know what you're doing.
Sometimes.
Look.
Success. Well, these bushings really weren't technically bad, but the kit was the right price at the right time, so that's why I chose to do the kit. So now I'm going to start beating this. Alright guys, so I got the new polyurethane bushings installed on both ends. You actually have to beat these sleeves completely out. You need to cut them right down the side here and push them out. They were not fun, but you can see these bushings are pretty much gone. So with these Sulastic spring mounts, the kit comes with washers. You need to measure the angle or measure the distance for this portion of the shackle here. And then you'll put one washer that comes with the kit. I guess the directions were a little weird. It says at the closer towards the center of the axle, and then the bottom will be away from it. I'm just going to put it here, and I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to see how well it does. They also supply this bolt with two washers. This is to spread the rear portion of the shackle apart, which I think it might be too dark. You might, right here. This portion. Let me get a light. Alright, it's designed to spread this portion of the shackle here. You stick the bolt through here with one washer and then the nut on the inside, and it spreads it apart. But I took the shackle, or the new Sulastic mount, and placed it in there, and I don't have to do any of that. So Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the spring back in the truck, and I'm going to see what I need to do with these washers. Do I need to put a washer on each end or no? So let's get this sucker back in and let's figure it out. Okay, take two. So the bottom of this 2-inch lift block is labeled with rear. If you've never put in lift blocks before, the tallest portion of the lift block always is in the rear. This is to correct for pinion angle. That way you don't destroy your pinion ring, your seals, your bearings that are inside there, because you don't want to deal with that going down the road. Now, let's get this spring installed. Alright guys, so I got to go into place. Had a big problem with the placement of this washer right there. As you guys can see, kind of, there you go. That golden washer right there between the new shackle and the actual mount on the truck. That sucker was a whole lot harder to get into place. So now I gotta fix my lift block because my lift block's out of whack. So these are pinned, so you have to watch that. I'm just gonna jack the truck back up one more time as soon as I get the jack to go. And what I'm gonna do here is pretty simple. I'm just gonna take the jack stand out, and now I'll be able to lower it enough to get this block back in. That should be more than enough. So line this bottom pin up with the top pin. Ooh, spoke too soon. Come down a little more with it. There we go. That should be enough now. Put this pin in there, and then as I jack it up, I'll move the spring back and forth to get the other pin to roll home, which I might have to put the camera down for that. So all right, now that I've kind of rassled the new lift block in, put the new U-bolts in, and put the lock washers and nuts on, now when you torque these, you're supposed to have the full weight of the vehicle on it. Now I'm not going to tell you the specific torque because torques change all the time. I'm going to torque mine at half value. And the reason why I'm going to torque it at half value right now is because I don't want this to shift. Because then my next step is to actually put the rim back on, or the wheel and tire, put it back on, and then actually I'm going to lower this truck completely to the ground. And then I'm going to go through and torque everything. Yeah, it won't be very fun to do the rear upper because there's no place for you to really put a wrench on the inboard side. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I do have an assortment of dog bones and stuff, so hopefully make my life a little easier. So let's start by torquing the bottom at half value. It's important that you do this in even increments, because you don't want one side of the bolt to be longer than the other. All right. Now let's jack it up so I can get the rear tire on. All right, everyone. Now that the truck's back all put back together, I did take it for a test drive. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. It did ride just a little bit softer. This is probably because of those Sulastic shackles that I put in the rear. So the difference between OEM, they weren't really worn out. They were probably about halfway there. But the new polyurethane bushings, they went in super smooth. They pressed in really easily, way easier than the fronts did. So the truck's pretty much finished. I don't know if you can tell since it is not really on level ground, but it is complete suspension marks. I do still have a tailgate cap as well as a new bezel to replace the old one. This one has a built-in camera in it, and the cap is just going to be a 1500 series style. I am still debating on the rear fenders or rear fender flares. Now, I am going to do a style like this. I just haven't decided, am I going to do the pocket style or am I going to do the cut style? I'm going to ask a few of the guys at work what they think if this video goes up before I make that decision. You guys can tell me in the comments section. And then probably the last thing I'm going to do when it gets a little bit warmer, and I'm going to rip into the engine a little bit. I've got a little bit of blow by that I got to deal with, so yeah. And then hopefully by next weekend I'll have a set of new wheels or new tires on it. And I do have to fix this last little bracket. I'm just going to cut it, drill a new hole, put a new bolt in it. There's a place for a bolt on the bottom of the control arm here. That way it keeps the brake line up and out of the way. So, yep. I guess the last couple things are the rear end with the backup camera and the tailgate cap, the fender flares in the rear, and actually getting into that engine. So, if there's something you guys would like to see me do to this truck, let me know. Hey guys, I just got to work, and on my way to work I have to hit a few potholes and stuff. And you know, after the truck sat for a little bit, everything kind of settled. I am fairly impressed now. These Sulastic mounts really make this truck ride like it's a 1500 series truck. So is it worth the $400 that I paid for these? I guess only time will tell. Now, I did not add the extra weight that I had back in the back of the truck. I took out about 250-ish pounds roughly. So there's still a decent amount of weight back there, just not what I had. I may slide that weight back in, maybe just a little bit more. I don't know just yet. I am going to get tires on Saturday. And today's Monday, so just thought I would update you guys. So far the truck rides pretty smooth, even with these busted tires that are on it that are apparently out of round. So yeah, I'll get new tires on, and then hopefully in the next video I can let you guys know if these Sulastic mounts are worth the $400. Thanks for watching, guys.